and welcome to another edition of the RacingBet preview, looking at all the horse racing action on the final day of the 2020-21 racing season at Moonee Valley and Randwick. I'm your host, Tim Geers, joined by Trent Crebbin. This week's episode is brought to you by betdeluxe.com.au, serious betting for serious punters, and hopefully we can round out the current season with a few winners on Saturday. Take two of this recording. We've just had a few technical difficulties, i.e. my computer shutting down midway through the first attempt. But Trent, you're back with us. You're out of the spelling paddock. You've had a few days off to refresh with no racing in Victoria. How are you? And are you looking forward to getting back to the Valley?
Yeah, no, we're back recording for take two. Yeah, look, it's been a good couple of days off, to be honest. I haven't really had more than 2 days off in a row or so for over a year now, really, of producing content, writing up articles, tips, everything. So it's good to have a couple of days off. Haven't really watched too many races. The occasional bets at Belmont or Northern or wherever we've been following you in have been good. But yeah, happy to get back to the Valley. We haven't been there for a few months, and I think there's a couple of good bets to round out the last meeting of the season.
Yeah, this game can be such a grind. Like, we go for 364 days a year, and even 1 or 2 or 3 days off in the middle somewhere can break it up and really does make a massive difference mentally. So I'm glad that you've managed to enjoy a few days off and you're back raring to go, ready to kick things off in the new racing season at the Valley. Has been a good week. We found some at Belmont on Wednesday, where we went 1 from 1 at Ipswich this afternoon. So that was a good little bankroller to take us into the weekend. How do you think the Valley's going to play, having been left alone for a few months?
Yeah, it can be a tricky one, the Valley. Generally kind of just default it to probably advantaging horses on speed, just the way the track's built. But then you do get some meetings where the rail can be off and it's suited for those horses kind of stalking the speed. But I think it's probably going to play a traditional Moonee Valley where horses on speed will be suited. And you don't want to be getting too far back and giving them too big a head start on the turn.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to finally getting back onto a good track in Sydney this weekend. We've had week after week of just heavy track after heavy track. And as I've been harping on about for the last few weeks, we've kind of just been seeing the same horses go around the same sort of winter races. And it is a bit like that again on Saturday at Randwick, but at least we're back onto a good 4. And I'm looking forward to that. It's a nice little change up. We've got the rail out 12 metres from the 900 to the winning post and 10 metres for the remainder of the course. Looking forward to getting stuck in. All right, we'll kick off with our best bets of the day, brought to you by betdeluxe.com.au. Trent, we might as well start with you because you've tipped a $9 chance as your best bet at the Valley on the weekend. This is race number 9, the final race on the card. Horse number 1, Imperial Lad. It was a winner first up at Geelong, I think.
Yeah, correct. And we were on it there as well at Geelong. And it was interesting watching the market there. It opened up about $5 or so, ended up drifting to 8, potentially even bigger on the exchange. And I thought it was a good win, kind of set outside the lead, stuck on well. I think it's only going to come on from that. And you just go through its form last prep, and it was just so consistent. Like, it won first up, and it ran third, second. And I think they were all in stronger races. Like, it's got form around the likes of Regards Marie, Fighting Harada as well, ran a narrow second too. I think that's really strong form for this race, staying in benchmark 70 grade. And I think the other key here is that he just gets such a lovely run on the map. I think he'll probably lead from barrier 6 with Alana Kelly taking off 3 kilos. And so many of the dangers are likely to just get back in the field from wide gates. Like there's a few of them, Wilmot Pass, Foxy Lady, all drawn wide. They're going to have to go a long way back, and they're going to be giving Imperial Lad quite a big head start. So I think he sets up really well here. I'm really surprised about the price on offer. And I think that's gonna trim up quite significantly before the jump, especially if Moonee Valley is playing on speed. So really happy to be with Imperial Lad at $9. Having a good bet at him, and I think he'll be going very close.
Yeah, Lana Kelly, she's going well, eh? Like, she's in pretty good form for a 3 kilo claiming apprentice, and pretty straightforward ride for her here, as you said. Probably land, in the leader or outside the leader from barrier 6. Does it worry you that this horse is 3 wins from 6 starts first up and has yet to win from 5 starts second up? Or do you think he's going well enough?
Look, I think last prep was kind of the making of him. Like, he was kind of a bit more inconsistent before that, but last prep is when he really started to fire. And second up last prep, I think, is good enough to win this. He ran third to a horse called Second Slip, who was a handy enough horse. Triton Rising in that race also beat home Indispensable, who we've seen run well up in Queensland a few times this season. So I think if you go off what he did second up last prep, it's definitely good enough to win this. And he just gets so much in his favour on Saturday that I think he's going to be really hard to run down. I just think it is a silly price.
Okay, we're betting on the nose or each way?
Look, I'm happy to go each way with more than $3 available for the place. I'd be almost shocked if he didn't run a place, but I'm happy to have a good crack each way. So yeah, pretty keen on Imperial Lad.
Okay, that's Trent's best bet of the day at Moonee Valley, race number 9, horse number 1, Imperial Lad. You always seem to find your best bet in the last race on the card in Melbourne. Me, on the other hand, at Randwick, we're going the opposite. I'm going to make my best bet at Randwick in race number 1, and there's going to be 2 horses I'm backing, but I'm pretty keen on horse number 9, Skedaddle, currently $2.60. I think this is a good horse, and if you saw its first up win, I'll put the replay over the top of while I'm speaking, but she never, ever, 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 ever looked like winning until the final 100 metres where she was on the rail. She looked like she was just batting away for third, and then she finally got going and surged the last 100 metres to get up along the rail. Les Bridger, trainer, seems to think she's a very good mare in the making, so I'm happy to take his word for it. Home deck here at Randwick. I think she's up to better races than this, and yeah, I just thought that last 100 metres last start was super impressive. I think she can win again here. That's race number 1, horse number 9, Skedaddle. The other horse in the race that I'm keen to have something on, and probably just a saver bet, is horse number 6, Super Effort, who went into my horses to follow after his last start. First up at Newcastle, he bolted in, and then he came from last on the rail last time out to run second, flashing home down the outside. It was an eye-catching run. I'm sure anyone with a black book would have had this horse going into it. Little query where it's going to get to again here, but I just thought the run last start was too good to ignore. So pretty keen that this is a 2-horse race between Skedaddle and Super Effort. I'll save on Super Effort, and I'll have a good bet at Skedaddle to hopefully kick us off in style at Randwick. That's race number 1. All right, we'll move on to our best value bets of the day. Trent, your original best value bets have both been scratched, but you've ended up on race 6, number 6, Leal, which is currently $12.
Yeah, look, I could honestly make it Imperial Lad if you wanted to combine the two, but I have made it Leal in race number 6. I just think she's another that's going to be really suited to getting around the valley if the track is playing as predicted. She comes out of the main lead-up race where a few of these come out of at Sandown. She ran 4th there, sat on speed, kind of battled away, ran well, beaten 3 lengths. She was 4 weeks off into that, so I think she can improve here. Gets a good jockey switch as well with Tio Nugent taking the ride, who's a very good rider of leaders, and I think she probably will either lead or sit outside the lead here. And again, the same with Imperial Lad's race. Her dangers are just going to get a long way back from wide gates. Godeline won the lead up race. She's drawn barrier 9 with Madison Lloyd aboard. It's not an easy ride, even though she rode the horse very well last start. So I'm just kind of playing the percentages here a little bit with Leal. I think she's over the odds at $12, especially given she started $5.50 in that lead up race as well. So she's going to be the one out of trouble up on speed. And I think she's a good each way bet in race 6.
Okay, and over at Randwick, I found it once again another week that was tough to find a best value bet on the card, but I settled on race number 8. I'm going to back 2 horses here. They're horse number 3, Nicole Beagle, and horse number 8, Miss Dior. Nicole Beagle is an $8 chance. Miss Dior is a $6.50 chance. They actually ran against each other last start behind our Bellagio Miss, which I think is a pretty solid form line on wet ground anyway. We'll start with Nicole Beagle. This horse won really well first up in midweek grade, at Warwick Farm, won by a length and a half on that occasion, and that was on a good track, which is really important because his next 2 starts were on heavy ground. I just don't think he handles the heavy ground. So whether he's up to this class is the query, but I think it's a huge positive getting back onto the firmer footing. National Wheeler booked to ride, and I thought in an open race, $8 about him was appealing. The other horse, Miss Dior, she ran second first up behind our Bellagio Miss. Again, that was on a heavy track. Doesn't really matter with her. She seems to handle all conditions, but I thought she could improve off that run. Second up from a spell. She won 3 straight to open her last preparation. Gets a good draw here with barrier 3 for Rachel King, Peter and Paul Snowden. All 3 wins have come at this distance, so I thought if she took a little bit of improvement off that first up run, she'd be a very good winning chance here at $6.50. So made them combine my best value bets of the day. Again, a little bit of a tricky one on Saturday at Randwick. Couldn't really settle on anything at double figure odds that I was really keen on. So I'll just back these 2 horses in race number 8. That's Nicole Beagle and Miss Dior. Okay, Trent, race number 5 at Moonee Valley on the weekend is the hat competition for this week. We see a rematch between Tavalu and I'm Thunderstruck. which way are you leaning in that race? And just give the viewers a little bit of context for the hat comp.
Yeah, it's a really good race, probably the race of the day at the Valley. Look, I'm actually starting with Tavalu here. I think there's a decent chance he can turn the tables, and I'm Thunderstruck, which sounds a little bit crazy, seeing as I'm Thunderstruck. Beat him home by 4 lengths last start at Flemington, but I think around the Valley is potentially going to suit Tavalu more, who looks to get an uncontested lead here. He's going to come on from that run, seeing as he was only first up. I think he can improve quite a bit off that. I really liked the way that he fought back through the line, and he's going to hopefully try and give Thunderstruck the slip at about the 400 and see if he's good enough to chase him down around the tight turning track. So, look, I think Thunderstruck's definitely the horse to beat, but I could make a case for Tavalu to knock him off, and that's kind of the way I'll be playing it. And yeah, so jump on the RacingBet Twitter. We've just posted up there. You can win yourself a free hat that you're wearing there, Tim. If I could show there we go. Excellent. I've got one around here somewhere as well. Yeah, I'll get it on for next week's episode. But yeah, jump on there, pick the winner and the margin. It's closest to the pin there. Whoever can pick the winner and the closest to the margin. So example, Tavalu, half a length. If you get that spot on, you'll win yourself a hat. We'll send it out to you. I think we had a couple of winners last week, only 0.1 of a length off. So yeah, it's a good way to jump in, win yourself a hat, and yeah, jump on Twitter and get involved.
Yep, I'm firing off hats here every single week at the moment. We seem to have winners left, right, and centre. But yeah, if you get the winner, you're in with half a chance there, and we've made it a race where there's $1.95 favourite. So jump on, give us the winner, your guess at the margin, and nearest the pin. Yep, we'll get a hat sent out to you. All the details on the RacingBet Twitter page. Okay, the Valley, Randwick, and Belmont, the 3 meetings we'll be covering on racingbet.com.au tomorrow. Teams in good form. Hopefully we can kick off the new racing season in style, and looking forward to hopefully finding a few winners. Thanks to Bet Deluxe for sponsoring this week's episode of the RacingBet Preview, and we'll be back to do it all again next week.